Have you ever wondered why some people remain full of energy and independence even at 70 or 80, while others begin to lose their vitality as early as 65? The difference, surprisingly, isn't just genetics or luck. It's something much more accessible, and perhaps you don't even realize how much. While many elderly people begin to struggle with basic tasks, there is a select group that still retains fundamental abilities, capable of predicting not only how long they will live, but also the quality of their lives. These individuals maintain an autonomy that impresses even experienced doctors. I'm Dr. Ana Laura, and today I want to share something truly transformative with you. There are 7 skills that, if you can still perform them between the ages of 65 and 80, place you in such a rare group of healthy aging individuals that most healthcare professionals encounter very few of them throughout their careers. These skills aren't just useful. They're powerful signals that you could gain up to an extra decade of life with independence, clarity, and mobility. But before we dive into these signs, tell me in the comments, what city and country are you watching this video from? It's always inspiring to see how far this information can reach. And of course, if it resonates with you, share it with your friends and family. It could change the life of someone you love. Now, let me tell you Howard's story. He's 78 years old, a retired engineer, and he went for a routine medical checkup. Nothing out of the ordinary. But when the doctor reviewed the tests, he was visibly surprised. "Howard," he said, "your results show physical and cognitive functions of someone in his early 60s. Howard was intrigued. He never thought of himself as different. He simply followed his daily routine with discipline, without any major secrets. What he didn't know was that by maintaining certain habits, he was preserving skills that most people his age had long since lost. And these simple habits may have given him not only more years of life, but years of quality, lucidity, and independence. Today, I want to show you these same skills. The first one may seem silly at first glance, but it's one of the most telling signs of longevity, being able to get up from a chair without using your hands. Sounds simple, right? But the truth is, this action requires leg strength, balance, and good motor coordination, 3 essential elements for maintaining independence over the years. Studies show that by age 70, almost 60% of people can no longer perform this movement alone, and that says a lot. A survey published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy points to this ability as one of the most accurate indicators of longevity. Dr. Sarah Matthews, who led the study, explained that this simple action requires a powerful combination of firm muscles, postural stability, and neurological synchrony. In other words, if you can stand up without your hands, you have a good chance of remaining independent for much longer. Take Deborah, for example. She's 72, a retired teacher, and lives in Ohio. During a book club meeting, she noticed something curious. While her friends needed support to get off the couch, she got up easily, without much thought. She'd never given it much thought until, months later, 2 of her classmates suffered serious falls and needed to be hospitalized. Deborah then realized that this common gesture was, in fact, a silent superpower, a sign that she was on the right track to aging with autonomy and dignity. While Deborah continued her active routine, going to the grocery store, tending the garden, visiting friends, all without relying on anyone, she barely realized how much this said about her health. Small, everyday actions like these are silent clues to a body that still responds well to time. Want to test your balance and strength right now? Try this. Cross your arms over your chest while sitting in a chair. Now, stand up without using your hands and without leaning too far forward. Did you get it? Then congratulations. You're part of a very small group of people over 65 who still have excellent muscle control and balance. But what if you didn't manage it? Don't worry, it's okay. The good news is that this can, and should, be practiced. A great place to start is with so-called chair raises. Try doing 5 repetitions first thing in the morning. Sit down and stand up from the chair without using your hands. If you only manage 1 at first, that's fine. The important thing is to get started. Gradually increase your number. After 3 weeks, you'll notice something has changed. Your strength and stability will be visibly better. Think of it as a small daily investment in your independence. Because the truth is this: if you can stand up without help today, tomorrow you'll be much better prepared to live independently, without needing someone to help you with every move. Now let's go to the second sign. Be able to hold a conversation while walking. It may seem like a trivial skill, but it says a lot more about your body than you might think. You know when someone starts talking while walking and suddenly has to stop for a breath or slow down? That's not just fatigue. It's a warning from your body. According to experts at the Mayo Clinic, this behavior may be one of the first signs of failure in the body's integrated systems, such as breathing, circulation, and neurological control. Dr. James Wilson, a neurologist specializing in aging, explains that walking and talking simultaneously requires a powerful combination: efficient oxygenation, good blood flow, and clear communication between the brain and body. If any of these elements begins to fail, it's precisely in these simple tasks that the signs appear first. And there's a case that illustrates this perfectly. Gerald, 76. He was a retired accountant and used to walk around the neighborhood every day with a small group of friends. Over the years, he began to notice something curious. While others slowed down their conversations or preferred silence, he continued walking normally, debating complex topics like economics, politics, or even family gossip. To him, this was just a sign that he still had the breath of youth. But years later, 2 of these walking companions suffered strokes. Gerald, on the other hand, remained steadfast, healthy, and lucid. His doctor explained that the ability to walk and talk simultaneously was a clear indication of strong cardiovascular health and sharp cognitive function. He was, unknowingly, giving a lesson in vitality. Want to try something similar? On your next walk, try a little challenge. Try reciting a poem, counting backward from 100, or even humming a song, all while maintaining your normal pace. If this is difficult, start slowly. 30 seconds is a great start. Then build up to a minute, 2, and so on. These simple exercises can reveal a lot about your health, and even better, they help you train it. And remember, this isn't just a physical workout. It's a true brain workout. The sooner you start, the easier it will be to strengthen those neurological connections that keep your body and mind working in perfect harmony. If you put it off for too long, these connections can weaken, making recovery more difficult. So think of it as comprehensive care. Strong body, sharp mind. Sign number 3, being able to balance on one foot for more than 10 seconds. This is one of those tests that seems silly at first glance, but is incredibly revealing. Can you stand on one foot for at least 10 seconds without holding on to anything? It may seem like childish stuff, something we did for fun, but after age 60, it becomes an important marker of health. A highly respected study published in British Journal of Sports Medicine followed more than 1,700 adults and brought an impressive statistic. People who were unable to balance on one leg for 10 seconds were 84% more likely to die within the next 10 years, compared to those who could. That's right. Such a simple test has proven to be more predictive than age, gender, or even some chronic diseases. Alice's story is a great example of this. She's 74 years old, and since retiring, has incorporated balance exercises into her daily routine. One of her habits? Standing on one foot while brushing her teeth. Simple. Her sister, Irene, the same age, thought it was silly. Until, 3 months later, Irene slipped in the kitchen, fractured her hip, and underwent a long recovery, which ended up permanently compromising her mobility. Alice, on the other hand, remained steadfast. She continued traveling, hanging out with friends, and living her daily life without the constant fear of falling. That's the power of well-trained balance. The good news is that you can improve your balance at any age. It's pretty easy to get started. Stand next to a bench or sturdy chair, just to be safe. Lift one foot off the floor and try to hold it there for 5 seconds. Then switch feet. Try to do 3 sets with each leg every day. As you gain confidence, increase the time to 10 or 15 seconds. You can do this while waiting for your coffee to brew, listening to the news, or even brushing your teeth, just like Alice. If it seems difficult at first, don't be discouraged. Your body is relearning how to balance itself, and the sooner you start, the better. Because no one wants to wait for a fall to realize how essential this skill is in our daily lives. Sign number 4, remembering names and recent events clearly. Now let's talk about the brain. And we're not talking about memory games or online puzzles. The question here is simple. Can you remember the names of people you've met recently? Can you recall details of a conversation you had a few days ago? If so, congratulations. You're maintaining brain function that, unfortunately, has become increasingly rare among older adults, and that it is not inevitable, as many think. According to neuroscientists at Harvard Medical School, significant memory loss is not a normal part of aging. Dr. Emily Carson explains that older people who maintain a good memory for names, faces, and recent events generally show a robust brain pattern with strong, active neural connections. What's more, this is directly related to greater resistance to diseases such as Alzheimer's and other types of dementia. Want a practical example? Walter, 75, surprised everyone at a family birthday party by remembering the names of practically every guest, even relatives he only sees occasionally. But it didn't stop there. He also shared details of conversations he'd had with these people months earlier. A memory here, a comment there. Everyone was impressed. But what was special about him? Nothing extraordinary. He kept his mind active. He read frequently, had regular conversations with his grandchildren, learned new things, and made an effort to truly pay attention when he was with someone. And that made all the difference. Walter's adult son even joked that his father had a sharper memory than anyone else in the room. But this wasn't just a coincidence or genetic luck. It was the result of an active mind, trained daily. Research shows that adults over 65 who can maintain this type of clear memory reduce nearly in half the risk of developing dementia. What's more, these people typically live 7 to 10 years longer than those who experience normal memory decline. Yes, this is real. But then the question arises, how to keep your memory sharp? The answer lies in small habits. A simple yet powerful tactic is to repeat a person's name out loud as soon as you meet them, and mentally associate it with some striking detail. It could be their haircut, tone of voice, job, or even the way they dress. Then, at the end of the day, take 2 minutes to mentally review who you met, what you talked about, and what you learned. This review helps strengthen neural connections. Even if you don't remember everything right away, the act of practicing activates your brain, and, like any muscle, it improves with constant use. The most common mistake? Thinking that forgetting names or events is normal with age. It's not. People who reach their 70s and 80s with intact memories almost always have this in common. They train the mind every day. Sign number 5. Do you sleep soundly and wake up feeling refreshed? If so, you're ahead of most adults over 65. And that's more important than it sounds. Getting a good night's sleep goes far beyond simply resting your body. Quality sleep reduces inflammation, improves brain function, and significantly lowers the risk of heart disease. According to Dr. Richard Thompson of the Stanford University Sleep Science Center, older people who maintain a regular sleep pattern have up to 1/3 less chance of suffering cardiovascular events. Diana, 77, is an inspiring example. She always made sleep a priority. She established a regular bedtime, limited coffee to the morning, and created a relaxation routine before turning out the lights. While many of her friends complained of sleepless nights or relied on pills to get some rest, Diana woke up full of energy and ready for the day. His doctor, years later, said something surprising. His sleep efficiency was similar to that of a person in their 50s. This explained why she had avoided so many of the problems that were common among her peers. And how you can improve your sleep, starting tonight? Choose a bedtime and stick to it, even on weekends. Avoid screens at least an hour before bed. The blue light from your cell phone or TV disrupts the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. Keep your room cool. Between 18 and 20 degrees is the ideal range. If you wake up in the middle of the night, resist the temptation to look at the clock. This only increases anxiety and makes it harder to fall back asleep. And if you're already using sleep medications, talk to your doctor about how to gradually transition to natural sleep. It may seem difficult at first, but the long-term benefits are immense. After all, it's during sleep that the body regenerates, the brain cleanses toxins, and hormones balance. Those who sleep well live better, and often much longer. Sign number 6. Can you maintain a balanced conversation without dominating the subject or repeating the same stories? This point seems more about upbringing or personality, right? But science shows it goes much deeper than that. UCLA researchers, led by Dr. Amanda Sutton, found that older adults who maintain balanced conversations, that is, listen, ask questions, and don't turn everything into a monologue, tend to have healthier activity in the prefrontal cortex. This is the region of the brain responsible for functions such as impulse control, social behavior, and self-awareness. And here's an important detail. As we age, this part of the brain tends to weaken. This causes some people to lose track of how much they're talking, whether they're truly listening or just waiting for their turn to speak. But those who keep reciprocity in conversations, that is, a balance between speaking and listening, demonstrate not only politeness, but also a highly preserved cognitive function. Want to see this in practice? Let's talk about Victor, 81. He's the kind of person everyone loves to have around. When he talks to someone, he truly listens. He doesn't rush, interrupt, or tell the same story 3 times. He asks genuine questions, takes an interest in the other person, and only shares what's necessary. No exaggeration. The most curious thing? Victor never thought of this as a sign of brain health, but his doctor pointed out exactly that. The ability to communicate with empathy and balance is a clear reflection of a sharp mind. If you want to strengthen this skill, try this simple exercise. In your next conversation, notice how long you speak without interruption. If it goes over a minute, stop for a moment and give the other person some space. Set a goal to do this. 2 questions for every story you tell. And before giving your opinion, try summarize what the other said. This activates the brain in a powerful way and trains your active listening. Over time, this kind of attentiveness in conversations helps you keep your mental circuits sharp and your social life much richer. By age 75, many people begin to lose these social filters, which can drive people away. Staying present and attentive in interactions may seem small, but it has a huge impact on your mental and emotional health. Sign number 7. Do you adapt to new technologies with openness and curiosity? This is perhaps the most surprising sign of all. After all, what does using a cell phone have to do with healthy aging? It turns out that there is everything to do with it. Accepting and learning new technologies is one of the biggest signs of cognitive flexibility. This means your brain is still willing to learn, adapt, and build new connections. And this, according to a study by AgeLab, led by Dr. Joseph Coughlin, is one of the key predictors of prolonged independence and protection against mental decline. And the explanation is simple. Every time you learn something new, like using an app, sending a voice message, or setting up Wi-Fi, your brain activates different circuits, strengthening the call neuroplasticity and creates a kind of cognitive reserve that protects you in the future. Want a good example? Emily, 76. While many of her friends said things like, "I'm too old for this," Emily embraced technology as an opportunity. She learned to use video calls to talk to her grandchildren, shopped online during the pandemic, and even joined yoga classes via an app. While her peers felt increasingly isolated and dependent, Emily maintained an active, connected, and independent life. Her secret? She didn't think she needed to master everything. She just took it one step at a time. And you can do the same. Choose something simple but new. Maybe creating an email account, learning how to use your banking app, organizing your photos in the cloud, or sending a voice message. Dedicate 10 minutes a day to that. No rush. The most important thing is change the thought from, "I'm too old for this," to, "I haven't learned this yet." This small shift in mindset can open huge doors. According to data, more than 60% of adults over 70 demonstrate resistance to technological change. But you don't have to be part of that statistic. Small steps, repeated often, create a stronger, more flexible, younger brain. These were the 7 signs of exceptional aging. If you recognized yourself in any of these, congratulations, you're already on the right track. And if you don't, that's okay. Every skill can be developed with practice and intention. The most important thing to remember is that aging well is not just luck or genetics. It's largely a choice you make daily, in the conversations you have, the way you move, the way you sleep, and even your willingness to learn something new.